experience at the tournament is huge when playing here.
Especially you think of Bellevue West being here in 2020. We're talking COVID year type thing. So that's definitely kind of an interesting area, playing in a different place. Not sure what the fan capacity looked like at that time. Just a different world.
Was volleyball still good in 2020? Was it?
I believe so. The fall of 2020.
I forget.
We shut down in 20. Everybody has probably kind of dumped that that part of their mind and moved on from there. But I believe the fall of that was when a lot of teams didn't play or a lot of shutdowns were going on.
I just always forget in what month the world started to end and COVID happened. All I'll say is this: the Chiefs won the Super Bowl and then the world ended.
It's all that mattered.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into some volleyball. Both sides are getting set. The referees are checking to make sure their rotations are correct, making sure we have some liberos who are subbing in quickly, getting things rolling, getting things ready to go.
Well, man, both these teams just are so excited. Southwest and Pius, they had some energy, but there's a lot of energy right now between the coaches, and while the fans may not quite be there for Bell West, the bench is bringing the energy, to say the least, tonight.
Exactly. Bellevue West rocking the black uniforms with more of a dull yellow gold stripes, and Lincoln East rocking the white jerseys with the blue numbers. Service is in.
Yeah, let's get ready for some volleyball. Straight out of the middle. We kick things off. It's Bell West coming off the right side. That ball not quite hit hard enough. That's Sophia Marquez on the right side. Went to pop it over, but not enough pop.
Exactly. Well, tough pass. Libero had to step in because the set was out on that one. Didn't get enough gusto to get it to her. And a great serve here by the Spartans.
That's a good start for them. Set it up to that right side. Looking for the tip. Won't go. Let's look for the pin on the outside. Out of bounds. No tip call. Lincoln East gets the nod. That's Kayla Eggman. So it was Eggman on the outside, threw it out of bounds. That's 2-0 East start already.
Shandy Faalii serving here for the Spartans.
I think that's the coolest name I've talked about. that's up there.
And there's a big kill there by number 2, Eggman, taking care of business. Eggman, we were commenting during the break, Eggman has a wrap going on. That's a hip flexor issue is what's going on there. So not a wrap you often see a lot in volleyball. Not an injury you see a lot from players. But Eggman taking care of business nonetheless.
Out to the outside. The tip not going to go. So we'll head back into the middle. That's a nice set. That was Emery. Now to the right side and East. Outside, no touch. And that's all tied up now, 2-2. West and East. It's almost like we had the Battle of Lincoln, then we had the big Battle of Papillion. Now we have the Battle of East and West.
East and West, yeah.
It's an infinite storyline for us. We don't even have to try for it.
All picturesque at this point. Outside set and big kill. Great swing. That is number 5 here for the Spartans. Number 5 is Brynne Topolski.
Yeah, Topolski with a big swing. You talk about picturesque. That swing was as close to picturesque as you're going to get. Right down the line. Great swing. Now you're going to the right side, looking for the tip through the block. Lift will be called on Lincoln East. Great set to set that whole thing up. That was Madison Emery who set it up to her, and then it was Sophia Marquez on the right side to get it done.
We see the Thunderbirds are starting to get a little more comfortable. They came out these first couple points have been a little shy. Now they're starting to get a little comfort out there on that court.
Out to the outside, Lincoln East goes. That is a great save. I was waiting to say anything until it happened, but great save, Bell West, to keep that one alive. The tip, that's going to go for Bell West.
Major kudos for Angela Berger there, making sure she kept that one alive, stuck an arm out, able to keep it alive, and Bellevue West comes up with the point.
Yeah, it was back row attack ended up being the call on East. I guess I missed the back row attack. I was too focused on what was going on at the net. The set outside. Dug up again. I'll push it to the middle. Wanting to get their middles involved. They will. Madeline Anderson takes it in the middle, and it's a 2-point lead for Bell West, 5-3.
Anderson, one of the seniors here for the Thunderbirds, solid 6'1", so you're going to see her in the middle taking care of business all night.
That's the libero serving it away. That's Berger. Service error for her. First one of the night. 5-4. Bellevue West still leading by 1.
West has to be careful. These are the things, those things you can control. Serves are the things you can control. And when you're the underdog, you need to be almost perfect.
Yes. Yes, you do. And you talk about it, in a game like this, cannot afford to have very many of those service errors. Ball's pushed to the back row. Great back row attack.
We've seen libero. We've seen Berger doing a lot of the sets here. Not usually you see your libero is not your main setter, and she's been the one passing the ball a lot. So West mixing it up a little bit. I'm not sure exactly why, but they've used their libero a lot more. 5-5 is your score.
Well, and what's interesting is she's only got 97 assists on the season, so it's not like she does this a ton, but she does it enough where it's not uncommon for Bell West.
Berger gets that one up.
And now you're headed off to the outside. No touch. And Bell West gets the point.
Very lucky on that one. Got a little tool that came back on their side. Best case scenario there.
Now, it worked out well for Bell West. It's just a good play all around. I love the tool play, especially in high school.
Yes. Oh, and a battle at the net. Almost controlled there. The Spartans keep it up. And a tough one. Hands on there by Anderson. Gets a hand on it, but it tools off. And in point for the Spartans.
That's Topolski. He's able to find it.
Lincoln East fans showing up in numbers tonight. Bellevue West, not as many, but still, I'm sure there's some Bellevue West faithful who are watching along with us tonight.
Off the touch, Bell West will score. 7-6, they lead by 1.
Looking at the North Court, Omaha West side up 7-4 over Grand Island. Opposite sides of the state, relatively opposite sides of the state.
Now setting it up right side, looking for the slide. Won't go. The defense for Bell West prevailing again. Big swing out of bounds, looking for the cut. That was Eggman.
Couple substitutions here for the Spartans. Serving here for the Spartans, looks like that's going to be a jersey I'm struggling to read at the moment.
These Lincoln East jerseys are kind of tough to read.
Numbers are hard. I want to say that's number 9. We'll confirm later. And line judges are going to call that one was outside of the posts. So that's going to be a point Spartans.
Yeah, outside of the antenna. Both line judges started waving at it. Neither of the refs noticed it, though. 8-7, Lincoln East leading by 1.
And that's a big thing you want. You want to see your line judges take control. Even though the up and down ref do have final say on things, you want your line judges to take charge, too. And great job by that officiating crew tonight. We appreciate their hard work.
Oh, yeah. Without them, we wouldn't have sports. It'd just be recess. That's Olivia Berger. Back to serve. 5'5" DS. Set to the outside. Big swing, but a nice block. That was Faalii. Now outside. Again, Eggman trying to get her involved, but finding the bottom. That's a nice low swing from Mandy Metcher. She's plays setter, 5'10", so a tall setter.
Yeah.
Now 9-8, East up by 1.
Both sides seem pretty composed so far. Everybody seems like they're moving the ball well. Really similar types of play from both teams here. That's a tough one. Pass over to the net. Thunderbirds do control it. Go outside. Eggman tries to tip.
And into the net twice. Can't make the play. Eggman had the last touch on it for Bell West. That makes it 10-8 East in set number 1. And on the North Court, West side leads GI 10-7. So similar scores all around. And then an ace. First ace of the day. Lincoln East gets it.
Easily controlled. Well done.
Back for another serve off the ace. 2 back-to-back aces. That's big time.
That's a great serve there by number 9, looks like.
Yeah.
Mesher had that one. We're going to struggle a little bit with numbers. These jerseys are throwing me off a little bit. It's a very thin number, and you have a long ponytail in the back too. Not easy to read, but Mesher is our server and tries to do a short one. Thunderbirds not surprised.
Off to the outside, big swing, taking the rip. Shandy Faalii, the coolest name I think I've come across so far, and it forces a timeout for Bellevue West. 13-8, Lincoln East leads by 5 here on the NFHS Network, brought to you by Strive. I'm Bridger Cruz, with me, Ben Beckman. For more, Lincoln East leads Bellevue West by 5, 13-8. They have taken control early in set number 1. I'm Bridger Cruz, with me, Ben Beckman. On the North Court, West Side leads GI by 2, 12-10. Make that 12-11. GI a nice side out. But we head back here on the South Court. Set 1, 13-8. We sit.
Little delay here after the timeout. Oh, looks like they have a little bit of moisture on the court. Want to make sure they take care of that early.
So the winner of this game will go on to play Lincoln Southwest, who beat Lincoln Pius X 25-17, 25-14, 25-21. It was just a dominant performance for Southwest. Kind of seemed like they could control most of that game.
Looks like they're chatting with, looks like Alex Rasmussen. I don't know, they're touching an ear, maybe a earring had been pulled out or a scrape or a cut on her face. So teams will get a little bit longer of a timeout. Bellevue West will continue to convene.
There's something on the court.
Well, blood is usually a pretty common thing. We've got the wipes out to make sure we're taking care of that. Shout out to the NSAA crew that is helping make sure things run smoothly tonight. And it looks like Rasmussen's going to stay out of this rotation. Mesher serves.
Pushing it middle. I don't think she was expecting it to go middle, just trying to throw it over. That's a tough ask. Miscommunication between setter and hitter.
Puts that one long.
Yeah, keeps it long. That's Ellie Dow and Madison Emery. And it's another ace for Lincoln East, and when everything's going to go your way, it's all going to go your way. 3 aces, 15-8. A great set 1 start for Lincoln East.
Yeah, Mesher really taking care of business here from the server spot, showing several different types of serve, confusing this Thunderbird team.
Eggman, a big swing. No touch. Eggman not happy about the no touch call. 16-8 now, 8-point game. Lincoln East making some pretty nice time as set number 1. Metcher, the serve. As pushed out Emery, looking for the setter dump. Now going out right side, good swing, out of bounds, no touch. Bellevue West gets the point.
Great awareness there by Bellevue West. That one was not out by much, but it was out. They called it right away.
So now 16-9, 7-point game. Bellevue West looking to make a little bit of a comeback in this first set. Out of bounds. That's not a great way to start. Service error number 2 for Bell West. And it puts it back up to an 8-point game, 17-9.
Faalii is going to serve this one. Great serve. Keeps this one in the back row. Libero has to do the set. Spartans back in the mix. And a quick set and hit. Eggman swings it long. Great job there by the Spartans, especially. It started off with a great serve there by Faalii, and then they took care of business throughout then.
Yeah, they're just doing a good job, like you said, taking care of business, getting things done. Faalii the serve. Bump set looking on the outside. That's a nice swing. by Hagedorn.
Eggman's going to get another swing on this one. She does.
Set up right side, finding the middle. Good spot, Hagedorn.
Able to find the donut position of the court. Great job by her. Something these Thunderbirds have to keep in mind, though, passing-wise, they're struggling a little bit. We've seen the libero take several passes rather than the setter. You want to make sure your setter is the one who has that control. You want to make sure you're passing to her, and they've struggled to get it to her throughout these last few points.
Eggman the serve. Right side, throwing it over. That's a nice play. Again, getting it done. Brynne Topolski.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Eggman could have dove for that. Might have had an opportunity to dive on that one. You can tell that hip is bothering her as she's kind of rubbing that sore wound. Little delay here. Substitution issue here for the Spartans. Coach having a conversation with somebody else. Big thing, guys, what we just saw happen there, what the coach did. So what they had done is a libero switch. A libero switch technically is not considered an actual substitution. What you can do is a three-way substitution where your libero runs out, but it doesn't count as a regular switch. It's very complex, but that's what coach had pulled in that movement to get a substitution going.
Well, yeah, and you only have so many subs per game. And what a save. Holy cow. That was Kennedy Johnson with the pancake. Outside going for the throw. Johnson the dig. Big swing, shoving it into the net. And getting the kill. That's Topolski. Big swing for her. And it's 20-10.
Great block there by the Thunderbirds. Just need to push over that net a little more. You have to tip your waist a little bit to push that one back. Two straight up and down. Spartans point.
That serve, that's Meyer. Out of the middle, finding the bottom, that's Ellie Down. 6 foot tall middle. Gotta start involving your middles a little bit more if you're Bell West. You just haven't been able to find much on the offensive side of things. You gotta start involving your middles and seeing what you can do with it.
Lincoln East has hit that 20-point mark, which is sometimes a doomsday clock for this first set.
And out of bounds.
I speak too soon.
But 20-12, yeah, she was looking for that back line. That was Topolski. Faalii. Back set Topolski. Good dig by Eggman. Meyer taken off on the outside. Good swing, goes off the block. East able to keep it alive, but not for long. East gets the point. Now 21-12, 9-point game again.
I tell you what, despite the outcome there, Eggman, number 2 here for the Thunderbirds, all over the place, playing not only front row, she's playing all around. That is a very specific type of player. Would not surprise me if she is playing in college sometime soon.
In the middle, tooling the block. That's nice and easy for you. Tessa Reitsma.
Reitsma standing at 6'1", the tallest player on this Bellevue West team. Thunderbirds put it within 8.
21-13, we sit. Heading up on the outside, off the block. Faalii out of the back row.
Good off speed.
Pushing it outside, gets blocked. And they're going to say no touch.
4 touches on that one. Spartans get another one. Big swing, just could not get it through. Put that one to the net. 22-13 is the score. Spartans continue to roll.
Yeah, they're debating right now if there was a touch. Eggman's trying to battle the touch.
So how this works when it comes to volleyball and the rules, you have to have your captain, who is number 2 on this one, must be number 2. She is the one who can go up to the up ref and ask questions and contest things. And that's what she was doing in that moment to get a clarification on the call of maybe what they saw.
Yeah, so clarification has been had, and that's Waters. On the serve, going to the back. Dug by Waters again. Outside, going for Faalii. Good dig by Berger. Outside, looking for it again. They'll go to Faalii. stuffs it through the block. Bellevue West keeps it alive. 9-point game again. Off the slide, looking for the middle. Eggman, she gets there, and then another touch, but it's not enough. Feynman, she was there, got the touch, but she couldn't get it up enough.
Yeah, that was a great rally there, but really in the end, Bellevue West was just trying to stay on their feet while the Spartans just kept coming, keep having more and more kills, more and more hits.
That's going to be another ace for Lincoln East, their 4th of the game. 3 of those were just from Mandy Metcher. S1, she gets her first one, Megan Waters. The aggressive serving for Lincoln East has been such a difference maker in this first set.
Especially to see the different styles we've seen, whether they are fast ones with a lot of topspin or even ones put slow in the middle.
Point Bell West, 4 hits is the call. Now 24-14. Bell West, momentum heading into set number 2. That's the big thing now. Clear your head of set 1. Figure out what worked. Try to replicate it.
Spartans do keep that one in. That looked like it was sailing long. Spartans will return it and send it long, keeping the Thunderbirds in this one. 24-15 is the score.
Yeah, so Faalii looking for the back corner. Can't find it. 9-point game, 24-15. Lincoln East just needs that 1 point to send it to set number 2.
One touches off the top of the net.
Faalii off the outside. Goes for it again, and Tenna. That's a nice little run for Bell West now.
Exactly. Bell West hanging on, refuses to quit, and that's some great determination. You talked about finding some excitement and some energy for the next game. Battling back in this can do that.
24-16. 8-point game. Back to serve. That's Reitsman. Off the tip, Lincoln East. Off the block now. Big block from Bell West. Faalii, little misdirection, and that ends set number 1. It's 25-16. Lincoln East takes it over Bell West. Bell West, they have a lot to talk about, and we'll talk about more in set number 2 here on the NFHS Network, brought to you by Strive.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there.
It was a whole lot of Lincoln East, a little bit more Lincoln East, and then it was a cherry on top by Lincoln East. 25-16, the Spartans take set 1 over Bellevue West. I'm Bridger Cruz, with me, Ben Beckman. Ben, what'd you see out of set 1?
Well, set 1, I thought both teams really played actually quite well. You see a lot of their shining stars taking care of business in there. Big thing Bellevue West seems to do is organize. We saw really in those early parts of that set where setter not getting to the ball. We talked about serve receive is a huge thing. Being able to pass the ball to your setter who can control where it's going to go is important. Their libero for Bellevue West had a lot of times where she was passing. That's a struggle. Spartans were extremely consistent, continually controlling the ball, continually moving the ball extremely well. And Thunderbirds just kind of trying to find their steps, trying to find their right spot here. So we'll see what coach has said to her team, these Thunderbirds, to see if they've organized a little bit more, what they can do coming into set number 2.
and Beckman. Ben, what'd you see out of set one?
Well, set one, I thought both teams really played actually quite well. You see a lot of their shining stars taking care of business in there. Big thing Bellevue West seems to do is organize. We saw really in those early parts of that set where setter not getting to the ball. We talked about serve receive is a huge thing. Being able to pass the ball to your setter who can control where it's going to go is important. Their libero for Bellevue West had a lot of times where she was passing. That's a struggle. Spartans were extremely consistent, continually controlling the ball, continually moving the ball extremely well. And Thunderbirds just kind of trying to find their steps, trying to find their right spot here. So we'll see what coach has said to her team, these Thunderbirds, to see if they've organized a little bit more, what they can do coming into set number 2.
Yeah, and you know, after every set, scores wipe clean. It's a good chance for Bell West. They have to start better. I think you got to start better, and then you got to stay consistent. First pass, if you get the first pass, you're looking good. It's just the first pass, when that's a struggle, your offense is going to struggle, and a team can only play defense for so long without offense.
And every single coach works on serve receive. It is serve receive. You need to get 20 good passes in 5 minutes or 2 minutes. Even the Huskers work on that exact same thing because you live and die by serve receive. You cannot get it to your setter. It's going to be a struggle from there.
Yes, it will. Now we're ready to roll. 5 seconds to go. Bellevue West already out. Lincoln East heading out now on the north court. Omaha West Side won set one, 25-21 over Grand Island.
Both teams looking to come back to play Friday. Refs are making sure rotations are set correctly. Liberos are subbing in for one side, not the other, for the Thunderbirds. Not yet for the Spartans. Now their libero will step in.
The Spartans love to make things complicated. They run a 5-2 with their setters, and they were working a libero switch. This is something I have not seen in a long while this season. I've only seen it one other time. Bellevue West, they run a 5-1 with their setters. So differences there. East runs 2 setters. West runs 1.
Exactly.
That's it.
Really, that's a lot of skill, though. That's a really big, having a lot of skill to be able to trust multiple people to be able to do that, to run that 5-2. Spartans come out on top on that one with a kill. They'll keep things rolling.
Yeah, East just kind of looked like a fine-tuned machine in set number 1. They're looking to keep it up. On the outside, right side on the slide. That's Ellie Dow. Good set from Emery, but it all sets up with a good first pass.
Exactly. Great swing over there. You saw right away she started moving towards the edge, and great preparedness going across the court. Good point.
Tied up 1-1. Bell West, they've got to get a good first pass, and the offense has got to stay aggressive. Emery on the pass. Outside, Faalii. And she gets a kill. Committed to Concordia. One of 3 college commits for East.
2 of them going to Concordia.
Yes. It's the best thing that the NSAA has given us, is the college commitment list. So
college commitment and statistics are our best friend in this scenario.
Yes, they are. Big swing.
Great dig by Emery.
Yeah, Topolski a big swing, but Emery nice swing.
Able to catch that corner. Great swing there by Marquez.
I'm not sure how she pulled off catching that corner just right, but she did.
Really had to turn that body to get around that one. When you're right-handed going across, you're pulling it across court. She really had to open her shoulders up to go down line.
Eggman the serve. Big swing again. That one's going to fall in the middle.
Tough one for Eggman. Eggman has that injury there on what looks like that hip flexor. So moving to her right with a lot of speed or diving to the right, not going to be an easy thing to do for her.
3-2, East up by 1. Emery pushing the ball out to the outside. It's tipped up to Marquez. Back row attack. Faalii. She can get it done in the front row. Right, middle, outside. Let's try back row 2 just for fun. 4-2, East up by 2.
Great tip, and no Thunderbird saw that one coming right there in the donut.
Yeah, she kind of just elevated above and glided across. It was a beautiful tip. Emery outside. Talk about a beautiful swing. That's it. Tessa Reitsma.
And there is that example we talked about before. You can get that good first pass. They set that one up. Pass, set, kill. done. Move on. So great kill there by the Thunderbirds.
Now 4-3 East, still up by 1. Bellevue West knocking on the door. That's a serve from Berger. And it's an ace from Berger. First ace of the day for Bell West, and they tie it up 4-all.
Bell West has to keep this consistency going, has to keep taking care of business if they're going to take down these Spartans.
Berger the serve, Faalii the receive. Push to the outside, right side shot, won't go. That's Topolski. Now to the outside, good dig from Berger, but it ended up being an overpass, and then a quick hit down by Alex Rasmussen.
Great job by Berger still, being able to throw herself around and get a hand on that one. Just could not get enough height on it to keep it on their own side. Spartans put it down.
So now 5-4, East up by 1.
Good pass by Eggman. Right side, off of a block. Eggman again puts this one up. Off speed, almost gets the Spartans off timing.
Faalii, back row attack. Bellevue West a little bit more ready for this one. Off the hands, another good dig from her. Back row attack again. The tip won't go. Push it out back. So it's back row attack attempt from Eggman.
Well, looking at some of these players, sorry to cut you off on
No,
that
you're
one,
good.
but Eggman and Faalii, both of those players playing all around, hitting in the front row, hitting in the back row, tipping. Great to see just the versatility where they can depend on them no matter where they are on the court.
And it's going to be essential in this game to have them. Getting blocked, it may have been by the net, Madeline Anderson. And now 7-4, East leads by 3 again.
Maddie Johnson was in on that one. Johnson, I believe, had missed the first set due to potentially an injury or a cut on her hand. I don't think she was able to play that first set.
Yeah, it's odd how it all worked, but back in now and making her presence known. Now back to serve, that's Marquez. Seven, 2-5, East up by 2. Ball dumped in, joust at the net, won by West. Outside ball is pushed, big swing, and a bigger block. Tessa Reitsma gets denied on the outside.
Great timing there by that block for the Spartans. Just really followed her extremely well. And that's difficult when you start to see them understand your timing. Now it's time to mix it up. Find a different way, go a different way, maybe not outside, tip, whatever you need to do. And another block here for the Spartans.
Outside Faalii, still looking for the tip. That's a good swing. East, that just makes it tough. Bellevue West, they get a good swing, get a nice return, and East can return with Megan Waters. And an even better swing for her, and it's 9-5.
And that's great athleticism. That's a hard ball to hit, too, because it's carrying in the air. You need to turn your body and time it right to be able to make that swing, so that's some real athleticism there.
Outside ball is pushed off the block.
Tip is called.
That's Tessa Reitsma. You're seeing two different coaching styles right now. You look at the coach for Bell West, all of them on the bench, very calm and controlled. And then you look at Nicole Johnson for East. She's pacing, very animated. So it's just different coaching styles, always interesting.
Some coaches just struggle very much to sit still in that one. And even you see on that one, she gets that tool. Nicole Johnson here for the Spartans, very fired up for her.
And I think it all just depends on, how your girls react to what. If your girls react to you being calm and collected, maybe that works better. If your girls react to you being fired up, it's whatever works for you. There is no one
size fits all.
One size fits all.
Well, that's a tough set. Thunderbirds had to make sure they take care of that one. Emery unable to get much height in that right position. And it looks like the Thunderbirds are going to take a timeout. Score, of course, is 11-6. We'll see what coach is going to say to her Thunderbirds and what they'll do to get back into this one. We're going to be back momentarily.
Pump up your day.
Pump up my day.
Pump up my day.
Pump up my day.
With Pumped Up Rewards, you can save big on every gallon of gas just by fueling up, and even more by visiting our stores.
Do I have to?
No, to sign up, it's automatic.
Okay, good.
Sign up today at pumpkinpantry.com.
We're back now out of the timeout taken by Bellevue West. They were competing well to start this first set, but now 11-6, find themselves down by 5 to East. They cannot get down. We saw that in set 1. Once West got down to East, Lincoln East did a good job just kind of burying them.
Lincoln East just cannot stop. They're like a train that just keeps on turning. They continually are. Thunderbirds save a ball. East is back into the mix. And a tip over, not a great send there. Thunderbirds will be able to get one, though. Coach for Lincoln East said that they will be scrappy, and that was a scrappy point.
It was. That's Sophia Marquez getting on, making the solo block, and then getting it done in the middle. And it's a great way to come out of a timeout, get a point, get a little bit of momentum, get a side out, and get the serve back on your side.
Exactly. Good pass by the Spartans. Outside, rolled over easily. That's Faalii showing the different ways she can hit. And she is a mastermind with that. She has put a ton of off speed, some tips, some rolls, some heavy swings. I mean, that is some real athleticism.
Now 12-7. Actually, both courts are at 12-7. On our end, Lincoln East leads by 5, and then on the north court, Omaha West Side leads by 5.
Wow, and a great set all the way across to meet with Eggman. Eggman swings extremely hard. That one tooled off all the way into the media bench. Hopefully a camera's not broke down there.
Always got to keep your eyes peeled when you're on the media row right there.
And you know that from this morning, of course, covering Class C on the radio.
Yeah. Faalii blocked at the nets. And I wonder, Bellevue West automatically started calling no touch, no touch, no touch. But then when it falls, you know, if you're the girl that gets that block, aren't you saying, I did touch that. Give me the block. Give me the block. I want to know my stats.
You want to build the stats up, huh? Pad the stat sheet.
Pad the stats.
Sell it for whatever you can. And there's a block straight down. Thunderbirds crawling back here. 12-10 is your score.
Yeah, Bell West out of the timeout has looked like a completely different team. A lot more fire for them.
Well, this is a great rotation for the Thunderbirds. You got Eggman there in that spot. Their front middle, number 10, Dow, sitting at 6 foot. Definitely a good person to have right in that spot. Eggman outside. Great swing.
Yeah, this is West's strongest rotation, and they want to stand it for as long as they can.
And they're going to get a call in the net. Spartans are in the net. Thunderbirds get away with one there. That one was an easy kill. 11-12 is your score.
Yeah, 1 point game again. West making this a game. That's Madison Emery. On the roll. Merton gets blocked. Faalii, she gets blocked.
Great position there. Good swing by Dow. Eggman.
Inbounds, yeah, he called it off the touch, and we're all tied up 12-all.
Great job there with that front row, though. Eggman and Dow really taking care of business, moving well, not only getting the blocks up there, but getting kills as well.
Yeah, so it's 12-all. Set to the outside, big swing, and it's going to fall. What an effort, though. Taking the slide was Marquez.
Marquez almost ended up on the north court with that slide.
13-12, East up by 1. On the north court, West Side leads GI 16-9. Inbounds, it's another ace for Lincoln East. And just like that, East back up by 2.
Faalii showing she can do almost anything on this court.
5 aces on the day, and then a service error, second one of the day for East.
Well, subbing in here for the Thunderbirds, number 4, Reitsma. Reitsma swinging on that outside. I'm sure they'll come back to her as Eggman moves into the back row.
Out of bounds, service error for Eggman, and it's 15-13. 3 service errors for Bellevue West, and then 2 for Lincoln East. And that brings back Mallory Meyer, the libero, to serve. Meyer the serve. Headed out, that's Waters. Big swing.
Good stop by Eggman.
Yeah, Bellevue West keeps it in. Reitsma takes a shot at it. Ball falls, tipped away. Big time block for Bell West. That has come alive in this second set. It's a big block for Bell West, and they're finally starting to figure out the timing for it.
Well, that was really scrappy. Reitsma, really, that was a great hit. She found a way to go to that back corner, threw off the passing there, and Spartans could not control that one. Outside, easily controlled.
Dug by Emery. Outside again, they will go. Bell West, another big time block. And it's tied up 15-all. And Coach Johnson, she's going to need a timeout. First one taken for her. We'll stay right here. Ben, what do you have to say?
Well, so many things. There's not enough time, only 50 seconds. But really great job here with the Thunderbirds. We talked about when we were talking to coaches, Bellevue West, very scrappy. That's exactly how they're playing right now. They are making sure they're playing their style of volleyball, and they refuse to let Lincoln East control. When they're not letting them control, when they're forcing them to move out of position, move in different ways, they can't get their simple sets that they're running normally, and that's kept them into this game.
Yes, it has. It's been the defense that stepped up big time, and with that defense stepping up, the hits for Lincoln East across have not been as hard, so the passing has stepped up, which means the offense has stepped up for Bell West, but it's all started with the defense. And Lincoln East, they just got to find a way to get the ball out quicker so they're avoiding these blocks.
Well, especially we've seen a lot of their players that Faalii is really taking care of business. Their setter's doing a great job. They're having some great blocks. It's just being able to play their style of volleyball.
Now out of the timeout, we go Angela Berger. On the serve, that's Faalii. To Meyer. Pushing it up outside, Berger. A nice dig. Emery outside, Faalii. Off the dig into the middle. And finally, something going well for Lincoln East. Megan Waters gets a kill on the outside, and it's 16-15.
Setter Emery back to serve here for the Spartans.
Off the block, tooling it. Big play again, Tessa Reitsma. Reitsma just hitting straight at the block. Lincoln East, you got to press down a little bit more. You got to press your hands in and down. That time, hands straight up, so it's a pretty simple tool.
Serve close to the line. Crossed, easy roll. Into the middle, and an easy tool. Well swung there by the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, so now we saw that on the outside. We've seen it on the right side as well. So the block's getting up for East. It's just not working how you'd like it to.
That was Anderson, number 7 there, 6'1" for the Thunderbirds, tallest player on their squad. Tip to the middle, they get up, able to push it over. Back on their back row attack. Does not go over the net, straight into it.
That was Lincoln East just trying everything. They are uncomfortable right now. You talk about how they were a train. They're kind of like a train off the tracks right now. They're uncomfortable. They're not used to being here. They don't really know what to do.
Yeah, hitting a few bumps in the road, and West is really disrupting their style of play.
Outside, just a punch over. Outside for West. That will fall. So it's everything going West way except for that.
I'm missing what the call was. They called it in the net?
Yeah. It was in the net on Reitsma.
Reitsma had a great tip, and it was kind of a tough set, but definitely thinking in the right ways. Bellevue West does not like that call.
No, they do not. Yeah, that student section. Tiny but proud. They're letting them know. Set looking outside. The swing, that goes.
Great aggressiveness putting in that back corner. Not even really much of a swing, more of a push all the way there. Thunderbirds go up by 2.
Tessa Reitsma back now to serve for Bell West. Reitsma the serve. Faalii. That's it's pretty certain.
Not much to say about that. Faalii just showing the skill. I mean, we talked about she is a mastermind on that court. Tips, rolls, I mean, just An amazing kill on that one.
323 kills on the year for her. Second to only Megan Waters on the team.
The best part is she's playing all around, too. She's not just playing front row. She's all over the place. So kind of a multifaceted weapon for this Spartan team. Outside to Eggman.
Out it goes, and we're tied back up 19-all. So we've been really tied up this whole set, but now we start getting close. Who are we going to see pull away?
Yeah, we haven't seen Lincoln East necessarily gain their control yet. We see that with a service error on that one. Still, Bellevue West is continuing the scrappiness, but making a few mistakes here and there. So at this point, it's anybody's game.
And on the North Court, West Side 1, set 2, 25-13. They lead Grand Island 2-0. Set 3 coming up on the North Court. Faalii looking for the tip, not going to go. Now it's 21-19. Bellevue West has stepped it up in set number 2, and they lead by 2.
That's why that first pass is so important. Setter unable to get a great pass to the hitter. Faalii trying to just tip it over, unable to get it even close. Easy dump there by the setter. Great job. She really sold that one. That's a great job by Kennedy Johnson. Big thing when you're doing a dump like that is just being able to not show with your shoulders too much and just let it fly.
Yeah, and when you show it the shoulders, you got to be quick. It's got to be a snap. You got to be really quick with it. And that time Johnson, she's good at it. She's able to sell it well.
Haven't seen too many of those so far tonight. Eggman.
We've seen her a lot tonight, though.
Eggman, just same as Faalii, a very multifaceted player, playing all around. Shows a great swing there.
Now it's 22-20. Bellevue West heads back to serve again. Outside we push. Faalii gets the touch. Now this time she unloads overpass from Bell West. So now she'll head back to serve, and it's a 1-point game, 22-21.
Huge battle here in the second set. Good serve, controlled by the libero.
That's Berger. Now on the outside, tipped over. In the middle of the court, not there in time. You notice Kennedy Johnson, she was still moving her feet when that ball was in the air, so when she saw it there, she couldn't close in enough time.
Exactly. I'm surprised to see that Lincoln East did not see that one. It looks like somebody's going to take a timeout. We'll stay here with them. But we saw that last point, really a great tip. And once again, scrappiness. When you talk about the Thunderbirds, they've really played scrappy, just finding ways. It's not as organized as you would maybe like to see from this Lincoln East team, but they are finding ways, whether it's tips, whether it's kills, whether it's just sheer tenacity. They're really taking care of business here.
Yeah, and they're being creative, and that's another big difference maker. You look at that first set, it was the same 2 hits over and over and over again. They weren't working. This time, they're getting creative. They're finding different ways to facilitate the ball to their hitters, and then their hitters are finding different ways to make plays.
Especially, we've seen a lot more tips and a lot more pushes, and then every once in a while we see a flash of a big kill by Eggman or whoever else there in that Thunderbirds team. So they are 2 points away from potentially winning this set. Let's see what Lincoln East's answer will be.
Lincoln East out of timeouts. Bell West still with 1. Late in sets, these timeouts get really valuable. Eggman the serve. Push to the outside. Big swing, Megan Waters. Berger. Good dig.
Good roll there in the back corner. Ooh, tipped over.
And net violation.
And once again, really, we talk about the creativity. It was a great swing there by Reitsma, putting that on that back left corner. When you can put a hit like that that's aggressive in there, that's a hard spot to be able to get a great pass to your setter. Bellevue West here on set point. Eggman serves.
24-21. Outside, tipped over, and that ends set number 2. Bellevue West takes it 25-21 over Lincoln East, so we're guaranteed 4.
You guys are going to get your money's worth tonight here for the NFHS Network. We're going to take it to a commercial break. We want to thank, of course, our crew for doing such great work. Nicole, take us to our sponsors.
taken by Bell West, so we're guaranteed 4. Bridger Cruz, Ben Beckman here along with you on the NFHS Network, brought to you by Strive.
Well, very exciting last set. Bellevue West finding a way, making sure they're taking care of business. Let's see what is Lincoln East's answer. I mean, they were the more organized team. We could say arguably the more poised team, but sometimes that is not what does it. Looking at our North Court little update there, we talked about this before. Westside is up 2-0. They are currently down 1-6 to Grand Island.
Yeah, set number 3 must-win set for GI. First time GI has been to a state tournament in a very long time, so it's cool to see them here at the tournament.
Great to see their fans, a pretty good loyal purple crew there.
Especially for the late game, everybody got to go to school tomorrow. Well, almost everybody.
Almost everybody. Maybe I won't go to school tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe I'll just stay here. All right, Bellevue West will get the serve. And right away leading things off with an ace.
That's a good way to start. That'll do her. Second ace of the night for Bell West. And it's a big ace to start off set number 3.
Gets that one off the top of the net as well. Faalii brings the energy back with an easy kill. 1-1 is your score.
Yeah, on the outside, she's just able to almost just hover off the ground and make that play. And it's all timing between setter and hitter.
She is an athlete.
And now she gets an ace.
Thunderbirds unable to control that one. That's a big thing we talk about. They cannot pass that first pass and control it. It's a long night.
Yes, it is. Faalii on the serve again. Out ball push to the middle. Eggman. That's a nice dig for Meyer.
Thunderbirds control that. Sets out. Goes to the right side. Good swing. They go to the right side. Easily controlled by the Thunderbirds. To the middle. Battling the outside. They put this one close to the net. And there is going to be no point for the East Spartans. Easy point for the Thunderbirds. And that's a tough one. You get to those scrappy plays. When you're that person who's running off, she tried to put that one close to the net. Sometimes it's better to be safe because that one you can put right into the net or you put it right for those front row players on the other side.
So Eggman on the serve. Big swing, but it's blocked. Katie Merton gets blocked. Faalii out of the back row. Outside, looking for it off the block. Can't fall, that's Reitsma.
Eggman there taking care of business in the back row. Tip to the donut, controlled by the Spartans. Middle. Tough one. Faalii thought that was going to go long, and that was in by maybe half a foot.
Yeah, it was a nice play from Bell West. Go to the back line. It's a spot you haven't taken a shot at for a while. You've hit a lot of places. See if you can go back line. That time it works out.
Reitzman's really loved that far left corner. She's been playing that almost all night. And that one's going to be in. Ace. Eggman. Thunderbirds up 4-2.
Third ace of the night for Bell West. And they're off to a hot start in set 3 after winning set 2.
We've said this, Eggman all night, really been moving extremely well, playing well in the back, passing well, being in the right position. She keeps that rolling. Outside hit, swing, tooled off. Point Spartans.
Now 4-3 with Meyer back to serve. Meyer, the serve ball, gonna be an ace for her. Bounces off the top of the tape, and we're tied back up at 4.
Talk about something that steals your motivation is a serve like that off the net and falls just short. Spartans tie it up.
Berger pushes it right side.
Great quick set there.
Now Emery looking for the tip, can't find it. She'll push it right side. That's a nice block from East.
Outside tip, controlled easily. They're going to call that a lift on the Thunderbirds. Point Spartans.
Yeah, Marquez, she was trying it, and you can only really get away with so much until it's like, okay, they kind of start going something.
That one didn't really get to her as well. A tough set.
Meyer skims it off the top of the net again. Now off the block, heads back over on Bellevue West side.
And a great block again. Thunderbirds able to control this, put over a free ball. Let's see what the Spartans do with this. Tipped in the back corner. Great job, Eggman. Tied against the net. Big swing.
Faalii. The dig. Waters looking for it. She gets blocked. It's a long, grinded out rally. Waters again shoves it through the block and gets it to go. It's 6-4, 2-point lead for East.
I tell you what, East very much, you saw 3 or 4 blocks in a row where they really took care of business. They just stopping the Bellevue West Thunderbirds of anywhere they could go.
That's Myers on the serve. Ball pushed into the middle. Off the block, slows it down. Meyer outside. They want to get it to her, and they will. Brynne Topolski. Been kind of quiet to start a set 3, but that's one way to make a grand entrance.
Topolski really she's been one of those dual blockers that's really been taking care of business up front, and she continues to do so with that kill. Topolski tips that one over. Man, Topolski will not let Thunderbirds put this one over. They're going to throw this one over. Goes back to Topolski. Big swing. Point Spartans.
Yeah, and that point carries a lot of weight. It's a big swing going down the line, and it forces a timeout for Bell West. So a lot to talk about here for Bell West as they looked hot, and now they've cooled off a little bit. It's 8-4. Lincoln East leading Bellevue West here on the NFHS Network, brought to you by Strive.
Limitless. When you believe there's no limit to what you can achieve. You come to Midland for an education, but you will leave with so much more. We're a small campus with big opportunities, and whatever you need, we'll help you succeed. At Midland, it's your future, your way, with our support every day. Midland University. It's bold, it's an experience, it's family, it's limitless.
Back like we never left. Lincoln East up by 4 over Bell West. They go on a nice run, and it's just so tough for Lincoln East to try. It's so tough for Bellevue West to try to make a stop on Lincoln East because it just seems like they can just keep going no matter what it is.
Just like a brick wall. I mean, that front row came alive in that last couple of rallies to put them up by 4.
So now that's Emery. Pushing it outside. Big time block. Tessa Reitsma.
Another one, once again, really taking care of business. This is where, once again, Thunderbirds in this rotation, we've seen this before. They get into this mix where they need to mix it up. They need to find a way to be aggressive, number one, but I don't think that that big swing from that outside is going to work for them.
Yeah, they're going to have to find something else. Pushed outside, Waters the tip. Emery, Berger, outside. That's Reitsma. Now Waters quickly back at it again, and it's 10-4. East just keeps on rolling in set number 3.
Well, I like the mix-up a little bit there by Reitsma. It was a great tip, just not great timing, and they were right there to be able to control that one. Spartans up by 6. Faalii controls it easily.
Off of the block and tooling it. It's another big swing. That's Brynne Topolski. Plays that right side well, stands at 5'11", which every guy in the world knows 5'11" is just 6 foot. 5'11" doesn't actually exist. It's just 6 foot.
Reitsma has had recorded on several blocks and several hits the last 6 or 7 points. Goes back to Reitsma. Easy roll.
Into the net this time again for Topolski. And it's just a miscommunication, setter and hitter. And you look at it again, you look at the approach. We talked about it the last game. That time, Topolski was too far back. And by the time that Kennedy Johnson was ready to make that set, her approach was off and she almost had to run to get there. That time, good approach for Waters. Big swing way out of bounds. Johnson, that's a catch. Moving on for the first down. Great catch by Coach Nicole Johnson.
Johnson all over the court just as much as her players.
That's some more yards than some of my fantasy players can get. I might draft Nicole Johnson next.
Spartans up by 7. Easy pass by Eggman to the middle. and blocked. Number 14, Maddie Johnson, puts it right back in the Thunderbirds' face. This is where East is starting to play their game. They are finding their control, finding their methods, and Bellevue West unable to find an answer.
You cannot let East get comfortable because then this starts to happen. 9-point game already. Bell West, here comes the tough question. You've already called one timeout. You're only midway through this set. When do you call the second one?
It's tough, too, because we know there's, of course, going to be a fourth set. There has to be a fourth set. You don't want to leave them out there to really be drained, but at some point they have to figure it out.
Yeah. Waters off the tip. That timeout will be called now. It was the 10-point limit, 15-5. East leads Bellevue West, and it's just East just started looking good, and Bell West couldn't quite muster it.
Limitless. When you believe there's no limit to what you can achieve. You come to Midland for an education, but you will leave with so much more. We're a small campus with big opportunities, and whatever you need, we'll help you succeed. At Midland, it's your future, your way, with our support every day. Midland University. It's bold, it's an experience, it's family, it's limitless.
Lincoln East up by 10, 15-5. No timeouts left for Bell West. They've used them both. Tough situation. We're guaranteed 4 sets. So at this point, if you're Bell West, you're not looking towards set 4 yet. But you're kind of looking towards set 4.
Well, it's tough, too, because once you spent your timeouts, you've only got 5 points on the board right now. If it really gets into it, if it's 20-6, you got to be out there. You got to find a way. There's nothing their coach can do at that point. That is the reality. West is going to get one on that one. They'll be able to serve now.
Yeah, it's 15-6, and sometimes that serving helps. If you're able to serve, you're able to get something going. That's Sophie Marquez. All Marquez has to do here, I'm going to say this after. All she had to do was not miss that serve. Like, that was the biggest thing. East is able to return, but I say that as, at that point, it's okay. East made a nice play. But if you miss the serve, the level of just, oh, no way that just happened, it just makes it harder. And then you look at that towards, maybe start looking towards set 4 as well.
Yeah, that momentum really gets killed after a bad serve.
In the middle. That's going to be a nice play for Madeline Anderson. So Anderson, a nice play, makes it a 9-point game again, 16-7. In set 3, Grand Island leads Westside 19-15. It's winner go home set for Grand Island, and they're showing up for it. Tessa Reitsma on the serve, pushed over Faalii.
Reitsma pushes that one right back over the net.
Wow, holy cow, big swing. Brynne Topolski makes it a 10-point game again, came out of the back row for it.
Spartans getting back on that train tracks, getting rolling again, and they very much were relentless in that last rally.
Yeah, I think that's just how East has to keep going. You just have to be relentless and you have to be aggressive. Off the block, touch is called. There was touch on that, and it ends up falling in bounds anyways.
Great swing there by Eggman. This is that really good rotation, though. Eggman there in the front. And Eggman and Dow are going to be in this one. This is the last time when they really clawed back last time. This was the rotation they did it in. So let's see what they can do. Yeah, it's a perfect rotation for it. Outside, Faalii. Ball sails out of bounds. An 8-point game now, 17-9. Faalii knows that one was way out of bounds. You know, at this point, you don't need to get a ton of points. I think you just need to get to 11. You just got to get those 2 points if you can muster that. If you want to start making a comeback. You don't have to get everything, just something. Ball pushed to the middle, through the block it goes. The block for Bell West. You notice the middle there, Emily Dow. She started floating a little bit. Started floating a little bit too much to the right, and that weakened up the block. And that time, that was Alex Rasmussen. She took advantage of it. She recognized it, knew she was able to push it through the block. So now 18-9, 9-point game off just a nice, intelligent play. That's a tough pass by Thunderbirds. Have to control these if they're going to stay in this one. Big swing by Eggman, and it will be called in. Just caught the outside line.
Great cross-court shot going left, right. Really nothing that East could have done there. They all thought it was going out of bounds, but it stayed in bounds. Great shot for Eggman. And if she can hit it, try it again. See what happens.
Looking at the North Court update there, 1919 West Side Grand Island. Warriors refuse to quit. Spartans doing the same thing, refusing to quit in this rally. Eggman unable to get that outside line on that one. Spartans point.
Hey, they listened to me. Tried it again. Yeah, but that time she was looking to go high hand. She saw the block, so she wasn't pressing down quite as much as she did on that last shot, which is why it ended up sailing out of bounds. Faalii on the serve. Emery looking for the tip. They just throw it over. East able to recover. That's Waters. Ball sends into the net. Nobody from West really went and chased that ball. It was kind of odd.
Well, not really struggling to control the ball. The rotation they did just before that, they really didn't control it as well. So they really need to tighten up a little bit here with being down by 10.
That's Meyer on the dig. Pushed out Waters. Ball saved. Nice play. Berger gets it over. That's a great nitty-gritty defensive play. Waters off the hands of Berger, and that's a no-doubter on the outside.
Well swung.
That's what makes it hard, too. Bellevue West makes the good play. They get it rolling. East comes right back with Waters and makes another good play, and they're up by 11.
Relentless.
And now 12, Faalii on the ace. That's ace number 8 for Lincoln East, and that's been a huge part of their success so far tonight.
And Faalii, I've said this all night tonight, really just extremely versatile player.
How well she can play all the way around. Some you do see in Class A, but not quite as well as she does it.
And a diving dig on that last one, just amazing. Good roll over there. Good dive by the Thunderbirds. Aggressive corner over to Faalii. They try to keep it up. Unable to get anything underneath it. That's some great aggressiveness there by the Thunderbirds, recognizing that aggressive push.
Yeah, and it's something you just have got to keep doing. Now 11-point game, 22-11. Eggman back to serve. Off of the hands, and that's going to be an ace. Went off the hands of Topolski. And Eggman gets herself ace number 4 on the night for Bell West. And it's 22-12.
See if Eggman can scrap them back into this. Good serves will do it. Easy roll, easily controlled. They go right side, tipped over. Goes back over to their sides, and the Thunderbirds put it down.
Yeah, they're starting to become a little bit more aggressive. They're getting more comfortable. And even if you don't take this set, how many times have we talked about momentum? But that's what it is heading into the next set. That's what kind of carried over for them to win the second set. If you don't win the third, your fourth is a must win. So you got to come into it with momentum, and you got to come into it rolling.
Especially as their coach has decided to use all their timeouts. If they get dug deep in the hole, they don't fight back, that fourth set is going to be lights out.
Yes, it will. So now 23-13, 10-point lead again for East. Meyer, the libero, on the serve. Emery outside, good swing. That's going to be a kill for Tessa Reitsma. That's not a kill. What?
Faalii jumps in there and takes care of business. Never say never with Faalii on the court. And she's back in there with this one. Spartans ain't gonna quit.
I was looking at my roster to make sure I got the name right, and I see the ball flying back over.
That one is called a tip, though. Tip is called on Bellevue West. Thunderbirds cannot believe it. Eggman's going to check with the up ref. Not sure where they may have called it. They had called a tip, though.
Yeah.
Set point here for the Spartans. Once again, great Great movement by Faalii, keeping that one alive, making sure they refuse to quit on that one. And an easy dump there by the Thunderbirds keeps them in this.
Yeah, it keeps them in it. It's a nice play. Something that'll motivate you towards that fourth set. Berger back to serve in set 3. Grand Island just won set 3, so they're headed to a fourth as well. Off the touch, big swing, and it's not headed to a fourth just quite yet. It was off the hand, so it's 24-23, Grand Island and West Side.
But Lincoln East will get the win over here on our side of the court. We'll update you on the Grand Island Omaha West Side score. Feel free to pop over there. We'll take a 2-3 minute break. We'll be back for set number 4.
Back now, it's set number 4. Lincoln East took set 3, 25-14, and they just looked good.
Well, let's rectify our mistakes here on the north court before we go into our own court. Grand Island does claw back and win that set 25-23. That was a do-or-die set, sending this into they will go into 5 sets tonight. So the north court will be here all night. Let's see what it's going to look like here for this 4th set between Bellevue West and Lincoln East.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Both teams heading into set number 4. And it kind of evened everything up. Grand Island West Side was a little bit ahead of us now. We're pretty even keel for each other.
Both starting set number 4 at the exact same time.
9:34 it is on a Wednesday. So thank you all for hanging out. I hope you guys had a great day, whether at work, at school. And I hope all your kids are asleep and you're able to just watch this by yourself. A little bit of relaxation tonight. It's Lincoln East Bell West and a must-win set for Bell West. And if the pattern repeats itself, Bell West will come out this set hot. But it's just going to be a tall task with how well Lincoln East was able to finish that 4th set.
Well, just some of the determination. I mean, really, Lincoln East has refused to quit. I mean, Bellevue West has been tenacious, has been scrappy, but East has really just kept fighting.
Yeah.
Relentless throughout. And that's a tough start there, a mental error. Bellevue West starts set number 4 off with 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to start if you're Bell West. Lincoln East, 4th service error on the night. So now 1-0. We sit Faalii. Johnson in the middle, Waters. Good save by Emery, and then Eggman back over to the other side. Now Johnson, Faalii off the block. Emery. Berger getting blocked at the net. That's Marquez. Then Faalii can't. She gets there. And nobody else or Johnson can get there in time. So 2-0 Bellevue West starts.
There's that scrappiness, though. Thunderbirds refuse to quit despite being blocked or tipped right back over several times. They find a way. 2-0 is your score.
When there's a will, there's a way. Johnson outside Faalii. Now just throwing it back over. That's a great play. Ellie Dow in the middle. Haven't heard much from her tonight. She's been kind of quiet, but they're going to need her to get active in set number 4.
Big thing, though, was that setter was Emery getting down to be able to put that one up after the really great swing by Faalii. Emery keeps that one alive. She will serve this one.
Big swing. That one's in. That's a nice swing from East and Brynne Topolski. That brings Faalii back to the line. We've said that name a lot tonight.
Mm-hmm. We were practicing to make sure we would say that correct, and now we'll never get Faalii out of our heads with an ace for her. That will be number 9 for the Spartans on the night.
Yeah, that's a ton of aces. Berger. That's just hit over by Reitsma. And it falls inbounds again. Lincoln East staying aggressive, and we're tied back up 3-all.
Well, right away, we saw that by number 12, Michelle Burgess knew she needed to get down and dive for that one, just could not commit to it in this one. This is going to be a tip over, easily controlled by the Spartans.
That's it by Waters, gets through the block. And, okay, so those blocks like that, they're all about timing, and especially on that block. You're looking to time it perfectly, so that's how when Waters jumps in, Marquez and Dow were looking to time that right, so then they weren't there, which is the top of their fingers, and that's what happened. They just were able to hit the ball at the top of their fingers, which hurt them more than anything.
Well, Dow tries to do an outside swing, swung around, and puts that one just long. Lincoln East up now, 5-3.
Faalii back to serve. 2-point lead for Lincoln East. That's Emery. Johnson outside. She pushes it. Topolski right down the line. It's out.
Line judge will correct that one. We saw that there was a quick check there by Burgess. Burgess saw that one was out right when she had put her flag in. Immediately corrects. Thunderbird point.
Eggman back to serve. Right side, that's Waters. And flying out of bounds. East scored again, so now 6-4.
And right away on that one, Nicole Johnson saw it leave her hands, and you see her easily wave her hands. That one's out. She's been engaged in this game all night, up and down the court.
Emery bump set. And out of bounds she goes. That's Tessa Reitsma on the outside. That was kind of just doomed from the start. It was kind of a tough first pass.
Yeah, Thunderbirds really have to find a way to control. If they cannot control the ball in any way, it's going to be lights out in this set.
Emery down. That ball floats on her.
Tip.
Yep, Bellevue West gets the point. Was waiting to see what the op official said. One line judge called no touch. The other line judge called touch.
Too many conflicting signals here.
Yeah. 7-5. Berger the serve. That's Topolski. She gets blocked. That's a big-time play. Anderson and Reitsma.
Haven't seen too many blocks here for the Thunderbirds. They've had a couple throughout tonight, but that was a great, well-timed one. You could see those hands were pushing over, forcing the ball back over the net. Point Thunderbirds.
Johnson pushes it outside, goes into the net, and we're all tied up. Back at 7.
Thunderbirds, this is a do-or-die set. Win or go home. They've got to make sure they remain relentless and keep that scrappiness up.
Berger back to serve. On the north court, west side leads GI 6-4 in set number 4. Must-win set for GI. Waters on the outside, hits it into the net. Now she was looking for the off-speed on the outside and just didn't quite give it enough pop. There wasn't enough speed on the off-speed.
He's starting to make some pretty simple mental errors we're seeing. The sharpness is starting to wane a little bit that we saw in set number 1 and 3.
Boy, yeah, I was saying that's a lot what we saw in that second set was the sharpness started to wane a little bit. Topolski just going for the tip. Outside. That tip will fall. So another mental error.
Well, I have to give a little bit of credit there to number 4 there for Reitsma. Reitsma, that's a great tip. Just that spot, just over the block. That's a really hard place to fill if your back row person isn't paying attention. So some kudos to her on that one.
Oh, absolutely.
And Berger able to bring an ace for the Thunderbirds, puts them up 10-7.
Yeah, Bellevue West has had themselves a nice little run after being down by 3. They find themselves up by 3. 5 aces on the night for Bell West. Off the block. Just thrown back over out of bounds, and it makes it 10-8. On the north court, GI leads West Side 7-6 in set number 4. Emery, the set outside, Reitsma. Can't get a kill quite yet. Ball sent back over. Great defense, but it was 4 hits. I was wondering if it was going to be 4 hits.
I wasn't sure, too. Nobody reacted when they saw it go over. No whistle was blown. Right call was made.
Now, Lincoln East not a fan of the call. They're talking it over.
Both coaches here for Lincoln East on the edge of the court. Faalii is checking with the up ref to get clarification. Both refs will have a conversation. Both up and down will have a conversation.
Are they?
I assume they can deliberate on what was the fourth hit. I'm not sure if they can fully overturn it.
Or did they call or did they consider the block to be the first hit? I think would be the thing is, was it a block or was it in the net on the first hit?
I don't know, because they played it off the net. This is where instant replay is necessary. Thanks, Nicole. You missed that instant replay. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they come up with. They're going to deliberate for a minute. See what their choices are. Looking over here to our north court. Omaha West Side down to GI 9-6. Grand Island needs a win on this one to stay alive. And they overturn the call. They are going to call it is Point East.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they changed the score. No, they just called it a jump ball.
Replay. Okay. Replay. And in the end, Bellevue West does not matter with the replay. They score again. 11-8 is your score.
Yeah. Pretty quick swing out there from Reitsma. But yeah.
And we're still rolling. Thunderbirds get the serve. Good one there in the back. Controlled easily by the Spartans. Tipped over. They get down, blocked over. Point Thunderbirds. This is that scrappiness. This is that tenacity we've seen out of these Thunderbirds. And they keep it rolling on that point for sure.
Well, and it's just, too, it's Lincoln East almost kind of playing to not lose. You know, we saw that in set number 2. They get a big set win, and then it's like, okay, let's just coast this out. Let's get it done. You've got to stay aggressive, and you got to keep going.
And that's a big thing Nicole Johnson focused on our pregame interview with her. She said, Bellevue West is looking to knock us off. We have to be sharper, or they'll easily do it. And a dump over there by the Spartans. Sold extremely well. Points to them.
That's a great setter dump. You talk about it. You can't do that slow. It has to be a quick snap, and that ball's got to be over quickly. And you've also got to be somewhat off the ground to be able to make that work that time. Johnson sold it perfectly.
Great timing in that one. Great swing.
And Faalii getting blocked. Bell West another point, 13-9. They lead. And it's that first pass that we talk about so much. Lincoln East struggling on the first pass. And when the offense is rolling for East, they're a pretty tough team to stop.
Well, let's think about this, too, where we were this last set. The last set at this point, Bellevue West had taken their first time out when they only had 5 points on the board.
Yeah.
So Bellevue West really finding an answer here in set number 4, despite losing that last point. Well, you can feel they've opened the door somewhere here in the center. You can feel a breeze rolling through.
Yeah, it's getting cold in here. Emery in the middle, Dow. Outside, that ball gets pushed. Overpass. Now outside, Faalii into the nets. That's going to be points. Bell West, 4-point lead for Bell West. And just like that, that's the same amount of points that they scored in set number 3.
Exactly. So things very much turning around here for the Thunderbirds. Massive amounts of substitutions on both sides here. Looking at that front, this is a big rotation for the Thunderbirds. You got Eggman and Daw both in that mix. Let's see what they can do with it. Tipped up. Great control. Eggman off the block. Faalii aggressively hits it over. And way to find a way. Faalii playing almost like the Thunderbirds where any point counts.
Yeah. Well, that's just how you got to play. You know, you have to take advantage of every opportunity. And sometimes like that, you just got to take advantage quickly.
She saw the middle back that was inching up, and she put an aggressive one at her, and she could not get her hands on it. Goes the outside Eggman. Tooled off, point Thunderbirds.
And it's the aggressiveness for Bell West. I think the only way to describe how this game has been played so far is bipolar. It's just every set's different. And
yeah. You're getting the variety tonight. This is a pretty good variety show for those at home. This is not your black and white kind of game here. It's got a lot of stuff going on. Bergman gets to control that one. Dow gets a swing on it. It's popped up. Spartans cannot control. 16-11. Question is, when will Nicole Johnson take a timeout? And she does
Yeah, she takes a timeout.
She does take a timeout. Well, we're going to take a quick timeout with her. We will be back. Your score is Thunderbirds 16, Spartans 11.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 12 million participants in America who take part in high school sports or activities.
We talked in the break, Ben, we were talking about how when Lincoln East is in control, they can really run this game and they're comfortable. But with this style, this nitty-gritty, scrappy style that Bell West is forcing them to play, they're starting to struggle.
Exactly, and it's just the unorganization that they're making them play, forcing a lot of hits to the far corners, not allowing them to pass it really well, and even just some of the tips over and things like that really have forced them to play a different way. And this set has been extremely different from the last. But this is do-or-die set here for the Thunderbirds.
It is, and they get another point now off of 2 hits, and it's 17-11. On the North Court, Grand Island leads West Side 14-10.
We might be going to 5 sets both sides of the curtain.
Wouldn't that be something?
Hey, you paid your price to watch us broadcast tonight. You're going to get every cent of it. That one does not make it over there for the Thunderbirds. East will have it.
Yeah, it was a tough ask for Emery to try to get that out of the net. Now 17-12, 5-point game.
Faalii has had several aces from that service position. We'll see if she can keep them rolling in this. Big swing, and it is put back down on the Spartan side. That is point Thunderbirds.
Well, that block's got to get closer to the net. That block, it was there and it was combined well, but when you're off the net like that, you want to be able to use the net. Yeah, you're doing right there. You press down and you get close to that net without hitting it. That time, they were a good 6 inches off the net and the hands weren't pressed down.
And as you get tired, we're into the fourth set. As you get tired, really pressing over with that force is not an easy thing to do. Great job by Eggman getting down on the ground, keeping that one alive. And that one is going to be sent outside of the antenna. Point Spartans. Ooh, tough one after Eggman had a great dig for that.
What'd you notice? You talk about digs and the aggressive defense. Did you notice Tessa Reitsma? She slid underneath the legs of Dow to try to save that ball in the middle.
Just once again, the tenacity of this Thunderbirds team. Eggman easily controlled. No problem. Good swing. And they're going to call that one in. Spartans point.
4-point game, 18-14. Bellevue West trying to outlast in set 4. Big swing in the middle, tooling the block down, Emily Dow. And see, that time, the hands were at the net, but there's only one hand up for that block. You have to have 2 sets of hands up, and Dow doing a good job recognizing it.
And when Dow sees that, she's had a couple of those where she's met a single blocker, and she knows she can hit around that or hit off their hands.
Outside Waters out of bounds. That's point Bell West, 20-14. Ben, we could be headed to 5. And on the North Court, GI leads West Side 16-15. Timeout was taken by Grand Island. Now Johnson pushes it outside off the block and down. Brynne Topolski.
Well, this is that rotation we've seen last set. Topolski here on this right side. This is where the block machine comes. This is where that brick wall is for the Spartans. So we'll see if they're going to turn this one around and make a long run to come back. And that block is back.
Yeah. Just able to make big plays off of the block. It's so essential. Waters misses it. Free ball sent over. Now on the right side, finding it. Just the middle of the court. It's so simple. Sophia Marquez.
Well, and that's a big thing. They got to make sure this right side is a big one. They really, when they're in this rotation, have really relied on Reitsma to be able to swing, and that brick wall has been in front of them. So mixing it up is a great recognition here for the Thunderbirds.
Head ball fouled off. It's an ace. And it's 22-15. Timeout taken by Lincoln East. You want to stay here?
We'll stay here. We'll stay here
Let's
to talk
do it.
about what's going on. And this game is shaping up. This match is setting up to be a 5-set match. And very much coming off the timeout, the Spartans have really not had an answer. They really have not found a way to mix it up. Every once in a while get the points, but really the clean style they played where they were a well-oiled machine, starting to see some rust, starting to see some slowness in those gears.
Well, it seems like the fire's kind of been put out a little bit. All that enthusiasm, there's just not much there right now.
Which they're still in it. We look back at the set scores. First set, they controlled relatively well. Third set, they controlled the entire time. It is just they start off this one and the energy levels never came back once they were down.
Which is just really odd to me because you'd think team comes in, it's the knockout set. You come out aggressive. You come in, you're like, I'm going to command my way around. It's been a total change, from set 1 to set 2, and then from set 2 to set 3, and now from set 3 to set 4. Very, very different from each other.
Exactly. Not a lot of consistency. Let's see how the end of this one shapes up. Easy tip over by the Spartans.
Yeah, it's Megan Waters. And that's just a good tip. The block for Bellevue West is strong, but like we talked about earlier, when that back row defender, they're playing back because they're ready for the hit, especially when they don't think that block's that strong.
Ooh, and Waters, that's a tough one. Unable to get that one over the net. Point Thunderbirds, they are knocking on another set win.
Yeah, keeping things interesting. And on the North Court, set number 4, GI leads Westside by 4, 19-15. Into the net we go. East can't get there, and it is set point Bell West. 24-16 over Lincoln East.
Reitsma brings the heat with that serve. Great serve by her. Little confidence after having a couple of her swings blocked.
Reitsma back to serve again. It's set point overpass. Beautiful play. Meyer, and a better save. Faalii in the block, falls out of bounds.
And that was great block, number one, but great awareness there by Eggman. Eggman tried to tip it across, trying to throw out the block, but Spartans would not be deterred. Good swing by Faalii to tool that one on their own side.
Well, that's just a good play all around. You look at Eggman, that's a high intelligence play to not just want to smack that ball. You want to make an actual play out of it.
Exactly.
Eggman on the outside. Play can't be made quite yet. Faalii on the outside. Emery setting it up. Eggman into the net. 24-18, and this is where momentum starts to matter. Fifth set, do or die time. Every point counts in that fifth set. You can't get down by 3 points in that fifth set or you're buried. So heading into this fifth, you need momentum. And then Lincoln East really trying to build that. Dow off the block. Waters makes the save. That's Faalii off the outside. Now Emery outside again. Eggman gets blocked. Berger's able to keep it alive, and then it falls. Oh, what a brutal way for Lincoln East to end. It just pops off the top of the tape. And we're headed to set number 5.
And they dig that one out of there. What a way to win the fourth set. Who knows? We saw first set go Spartans, second set Bellevue West. Vice versa, excuse me. We saw just each set has been a complete difference from each other. We'll see what this fifth set's going to look like. They'll play to only 15. We're going to take a break before we bring you this fifth set action. Don't go anywhere.
Back for set number 5. Bellevue West came in and won set 4, 25-18. In this fifth set, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how this is going to go.
It is anyone's guess here. Roll the dice. Will it be Bellevue West? Will it be Lincoln East? Fate will tell.
Yeah, and this whole game has been so different. The only pattern would be sets 1 and 3 were just controlled by East, and then sets 2 and 4 were almost just controlled by Bell West for the most part.
Well, it's a great example of how each set is totally different. Each set can be totally different. If you take your mindset into different sets, it can be that way. So the question is, who's going to have control in this fifth? Fifth set, of course, is only going to 15 points, so it is a race to a short game. what will that look like? We're looking at the North Court, though, as well. North Court, we have, of course, another scrappy match going on. Grand Island is up 23-21 over Omaha West Side. Grand Island looking to take this into 5 sets as well.
Yeah, Grand Island would have the reverse sweep. That's what they're looking for. They lost the first 2 sets, but now they're starting to make the plays to come back 23-21. But now on the South Court, set number 5 coming up. Lincoln East, Bell West, flip a coin. Maybe flip a coin with 15 different sides and then try to guess which side it's going to land on.
Shake your lucky 8-ball if you have one nearby and see who's going to come up on this one, and we'll see. Have an extra piece of Halloween candy to get you through this 5th set. We're having some great volleyball here tonight.
Or you want to share with the announcers, come stop by Pinnacle, and we'll eat your Halloween candy. It's
Love
okay.
it. Love it. Here we go. Bellevue West gets a serve. Faalii swings hard. Kill Faalii. Great start for the Spartans, sending a message with that kill.
And Lincoln East has started out alive, but we saw the same thing in set 4, and they kind of fell asleep.
Easy serve, Faalii.
That's Emery off the top of the tape and the block. Now free ball forced over. Meyer, Johnson outside, Topolski, and it's 2-0 start. Lincoln East has come out looking like the Lincoln East of sets 1 and 3.
Reitzman tries to make a dive over there, but just unable to get in front of it to keep that one up. Faalii, of course, our server here for the Spartans.
Emery, the serve out of the back row. It's Eggman. Dug by Meyer. Now on the outside, that's Waters. Berger.
Tough pass close to the net. Quick set. Thunderbirds unable to control it. Spartans go up 3-0.
Did you see how high she jumped? Both of her arms were well over the net.
That girl can fly, as they say.
She's got wings on her feet. We got to check them.
Out is the call. Faalii gives that one away. Thunderbirds are on the board.
6 service errors on the night, and it's tied back up 23-all, Westside and Grand Island. Westside trailed 23-20 on a 3-point run.
North Court does erupt. Ooh, and a tough one. Eggman sends that long, giving the Spartans one more point closer to ultimate victory.
Yeah, now 4-1. We talk about that 3-point barrier. It is tough to overcome any deficit in this 5th set, but you cannot let this thing get up to 5 points. Outside we go, into the net, big time block. And Lincoln East leads 5-1.
And that's a tough one. Reitsma has met the brick wall once again. This rotation for the Spartans is a powerful one. Thunderbirds need to once again find a different way. I do not think that hits there. They've got to once again find their scrappiness.
And Westside took the win on the North Court, 25-23 in 4 sets. Johnson into the middle. That ball's missed. Maddie Johnson trying to get there. Timing not quite right. And now 5-2 is the score.
Well, major congratulations to Grand Island. We had said earlier in our broadcast, it's been a while since they had been back here to the state tournament. We hope to see them here every single year, but ultimately, congratulations to the Warriors of Westside.
Off the swing into the block. Outside. Out of bounds. That was Reitzman.
And that's a tough one for Reitsma. She's really, after being blocked like that, trying to mix things up, probably a little less confident than she should be. 6-2 is your score. Spartans controlling so far.
And in other sports news, the Rangers just won their first World Series.
Very exciting.
So
doesn't feel like baseball season, does it?
It doesn't. It's too cold. It's 21 degrees this morning. It's not baseball season.
That one is called out. Thunderbirds get the point.
Now 6-3. East leading by 3. Bellevue West trying to make the play to come back.
Tipped over, easily controlled.
Off the block.
Tip is called.
Yeah.
Great job there. Great point there by Reitsma. Reitsma knows she's been blocked several times. Looks for the tool and gets it.
Oh, yeah, and you just got to look to go high hands. Use the block to your advantage.
Faalii passes that one.
And bounds. Holy cow. Big swing, Megan Waters. leads her team in kills this year at 343. Now 7-4, East leading West by 3. Waters heads back to serve.
Short serve, easily controlled. In the middle, swung around, point, Thunderbirds.
And it's 7-5 now, 2-point game. Bellevue West staying in this one. That's Reitsma. Now back to serve for West.
And a back and forth game. Let's see if the Thunderbirds can keep up their scrappiness.
On the outside, Faalii. Outside bump set.
Eggman tries to put it across. Controlled pretty well. Tip in the middle. Point Spartans.
Of all things to do it, that's the one that gets the rally ended.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be the hardest hit. Sometimes it just has to be the most well-placed.
Well said. Well said.
It was hard to put out there. I struggled with that one. Words are difficult at this time of night.
Words are hard, especially at this time of night.
Oh, and the Thunderbirds swing off a block and bounce back into their own court. Spartans seeming to be in control here, and it looks like the Thunderbirds will take a timeout. We are going to take a timeout real quick with them. We want to hear a great word from our sponsors. Be back momentarily.
With great brands at the best prices at Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun. More of this, and more of this, and this. So you can do more of that, and that, and definitely some of that. While getting together for more of that, and that. Yes! Have more fun with great brands at the best prices, only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Back here on the NFHS Network, brought to you by Strive. I'm Bridger Cruz. With me, Ben Beckman. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. 10 o'clock on a Wednesday.
I tell you what, nobody else I'd rather be up late with than a little bit of state volleyball here. 9-5 is our score. Can the Spartans keep control? Can they keep the train, their well-oiled machine, rolling along? Or the Thunderbirds derail them? Well said. Too bad they aren't like some sort of Boilermaker. That would have been perfect.
That would have been.
Eggman tips it over. Spartans will not be tricked, though.
I don't know. It was an awesome pancake block by Lincoln East. Not going to matter, though. Eggman making a play on the outside again, and it's 9-6.
Bellevue West student section refuses to quit. They travel all the way to Lincoln, and they are not going home early.
No, they are not.
Rightly so with a match like this.
Yeah.
Well, this front rotation, this is a good one. This is Eggman and Daw. This is the one that they've had a lot of success with. Let's see if they can climb back in this one. Eggman will get this one.
Faalii taken up on the outside, splits the block, and it's 10-6.
Faalii definitely a huge leader on this team, not only with her athletic ability, but just sending the message.
$10-6 is your score. Emery, Eggman, the 2 hits is going to be the call. Yeah, I thought it was coming. Madison Emery got 2 hits called on her. It's 11-6. Last timeout taken by Bell West. We'll stay right here. Ben, at this point, 5-point deficit. Kind of seems like you're digging your own grave for Bell West. What do they have to do to try to make this comeback?
Well, they got to be able to finish. I mean, we saw that double hit there by Eggman. You can't have that. I mean, you really cannot. I mean, East has definitely kind of turned it back on. They definitely have a lot of their momentum, a lot more of their control. Faalii is hitting the ball extremely well. They're setting the ball well. Bellevue West just not able to find some of those mix-up plays that have really kept them into this throughout tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the big thing. You look at the mix-up plays. And Lincoln East, it seems like when they want to turn it on and roll, they're going to turn it on and roll. It's just getting it there.
Well, big thing looking, if they are able to close this one out, looking for the rest of their state tournament, they very much have to find a way to continually play their game. We saw Bellevue West, when Bellevue West forced East not to play their game, forced them to play in a very, very different style, struggled to get it done.
Oh, yeah, and to be straight, if they play that wishy-washy against Southwest, it's going to be a quick game.
Exactly. Great serve there. Eggman on the outside, off the tool. Point Thunderbirds. Eggman refuses to quit.
Yeah, that's a great play by Eggman. We talk about wishy-washy style. That's not what we're talking about. That's just a great play by Eggman. Now 11-7. She's got to get herself within 2. On this right now, you don't have to get all of it, but you've got to get yourself within 2. Faalii, that's a good start. Off of her hands, and it's an ace.
And that's a great one. Those are the easy points you want to capture here late in this 5th set.
6th ace of the night for Bell West.
Tough serve. That one's put back over into the net. Free ball. They put this aggressive. Great job there by the Spartans. Right side tip donut. Spartans refuse as well. West seems comfortable. Eggman swings hard. Bounces off of a block.
What?
Down. Easily blocked down by Daw. Phenomenal there. This is all confidence there for the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, big play. Johnson, she'll call a timeout. No, none left for Bell West. 1 left for Lincoln East. We'll stay right here again. Not a lot of action. We got a lot to talk about. So East came out very, very confident, but then West, in that timeout, they kept forcing them to play that style, and they just stayed aggressive. They're staying aggressive, and West is kind of playing like they're ahead right now. They're playing like they're ahead. They're trying to close out a set.
Exactly. They're playing really they have nothing to lose. They are the underdog in this team. They are this underdog in this last set. So really that last one, we talk about East being relentless. West was extremely relentless in that last play. Just kept hammering home, and they end up getting the point on that one, forcing Nicole Johnson to take a timeout for the Spartans.
Well, like I said, you don't have to get all your points back, but if you get it within 2, it's a little bit more manageable. Now if you can try to get it a little bit more, that'd be great, but now you've just got to finish. You can't let any more runs go on for East.
Remember, the 5th set is only going to 15 points, so it is a short game.
That's Meyer. Johnson to Topolski.
Set is out. They're going to put this one to the middle, right side. Good swing. Put this one the outside, rolled, easily controlled by the setter. Eggman. Good spot all the way across, and Thunderbirds put it within 1.
11-10.
I tell you what, folks, if you paid for your subscription tonight, you are getting every penny with this 5th set.
Emery on the serve. That's Faalii on the outside, out of bounds.
They're going to call that a tip. Thunderbirds are not going to argue it. They did not sell that well. Big thing in volleyball sometimes, both in sales and in volleyball, is how can you sell it?
Yep.
How can you sell whether it was there or not there?
Emery, setter dump. You're too far away from the net for a setter dump.
Good mix up.
And now right side, coming in Meyer. Topolski.
Eggman.
Meyer pushes it right side again. Topolski can't find it. Another good dig from Bell West. That's Eggman. Dug by Faalii. Big swing, tooling the block, and it's 13-10. Lincoln East leading Bell West, only needing 2 points to finish this out.
And that last rally, just both sides trading blows back and forth between one another. Our crew to our right is getting relatively giddy. We need to get out of this 5th set. We'll see if we make it.
Eggman gets blocked. West can have another chance at it. Throwing it back corner. That's Megan Waters. Emery pushed it outside. Eggman. Good save by Johnson. Overpass. Eggman. Holy cow.
Drop the hammer. Eggman sees that one in there and just takes some PSI off that ball. Well swung for her, and she is going to be serving here. Down by 2, 5th set.
Which isn't ideal for Bell West. You want her in the front row, and her serving right now, you're gonna have to have some other girls step up for you.
Oh, and a tough one. The Spartans put that one in that front right corner. Not an easy one to defend. Spartan fans are on their feet.
14-11. Match point. Lincoln East in a marathon of a volleyball game. Emery pushes it outside. Ball tipped off, and it's 14-12. The Thunderbirds still have something to say.
The Thunderbirds did not take this to the fifth set for nothing. They are going to fight scrapping. They're going to scrap for every single point they possibly need. Shout out to the Lincoln East fans in front of us, making sure that we can see. We do appreciate that.
We do. Outside, big swing right side, out of bounds. 14-13.
And it is the match that refuses to end. Somebody call my first hour tomorrow. We will not be there. Just kidding. One of my crew members is in my first hour class. Here we go. Good serve.
On the outside, that's Berger. Now free ball forced over. Lincoln East, their best chance that they're going to have at this. Megan Waters tip, looking line. Now right side, off the block. Johnson set her dump. Berger, pump set outside. Ball swung, that's Topolski. Now Emery off the block, Meyer the save.
A rally that will go on forever. Both sides controlling extremely well.
Eggman, Reitsma. Now Meyer jousts at the net, and we're heading to extra points. It's 14-all.
We look at that rally, that last rally never end, and it's Nicole Johnson is going to take a timeout for the Spartans. We're going to stay here. We look at that. It was, you're waiting with bated breath of what that last rally was going to look like. I mean, both sides are trying not to make a mistake, but still be aggressive, and the Thunderbirds are able to tie this one up.
Oh, and you talk about it's the game that won't end. 14-all, neither team wants to quit, and this is what gets exciting. Both these teams, full effort, trying to impose their will on each other, and neither team liking it.
And both sides, big players on both sides, really just laying the hammer, and their defense is responding, so great job by them.
So now we're back where we started, except for this time you only need 2 points.
Gymnasium is on its feet. I'm going to join them.
Yeah, you got to get on your feet at this point. It's too exciting not to be. Johnson outside Topolski. Dug by Emery. Now Berger outside.
Ooh, and that's a tough one. Tried to go with the off speed. Unable to get it over.
That's Reitsma. Now 15-14. East leading by 1. The clap has started. Serves across. In the middle. That's Meyer. Waters can't get it to fall. In the middle, she's blocked into the net. Berger keeps it alive. Out of bounds. We're heading
into extra points. Once again, the match that will never end.
10-15, we just keep on hanging out here in Pinnacle. I'm actually just going to bring my pillow and blanket inside and sleep here. Out of bounds, service error, Lincoln East. Another match point for them.
Man, these are those tough mistakes at this point that you cannot make.
16-15. Who can finish the marathon in a sprint-like fashion is the question. Into the net, Lincoln East has it off the free ball. Can they get it done? Berger, Emery, outside, Reitzman. Dumped it over. Now Berger, outside again. They'll try Reitzman. Reitzman out of bounds. It soars off the block.
Tipped. It is called a tip, and we are going into further points. 16-16 is the score. Big thing in this one, both sides have to make sure whoever's going to come out on top, you cannot make mental errors.
Yes.
We need to make sure this serve is a good one.
Even at this point, you don't need to serve all that aggressively. You just get the serve and bounce. On the outside, that's Faalii. She's dug by Berger. Outside, they want.
Another big swing, controlled easily by East. Faalii will roll that one over.
Eggman off the block. It falls. So now 17-16, first match point for Bell West. Lincoln East has had 3 since we started going to extra points. Can this be the one? Reitsma back to serve. She prepares herself, the biggest serve of her career so far. No pressure at all. No pressure. Reitsma the serve.
Sends it long. That is that mental mistake we talked about. Is a tough one.
17 all we go. You know what, and at that point, you wager. Is it worth it to serve aggressively, or are you just looking to get the ball in bounds?
Talk about an opening night, though, here for NSAA State Volleyball, though.
Yeah.
Big upset, Papillion South versus Papillion.
And Eggman off the outside. It's 18-17, another match point for Bell West. And yeah, Class A has been a movie to start us off.
First night, we thought we'd see fireworks in the finals. We are seeing fireworks in the opening rounds.
Man, if tomorrow doesn't live up to this, you're going to have a lot of sad fans. A lot of really sad fans. 18-17, Emory, the setter, back to the line. Quick hit, Faalii. Falls back.
Point Bellevue West goes off of the antennas.
Yeah, that was actually point Lincoln East. Went off the antenna off Bellevue West block.
Okay.
Because I was confused about that at first. It
Yeah,
took me a little while.
Yeah.
Emory pushes it outside. Eggman inbounds. 19-18. Another match point for Bellevue West.
I tell you what, Eggman for the Thunderbirds and Faalii for the Spartans refuse to take off the gas. They are swinging with everything they have. They refuse to quit. This game refuses to end.
Emory, the serve. Johnson out into the middle. Now Emory gonna set it up middle, takes the swing. Faalii keeps it alive. Emory outside Eggman, can this do it?
Tight
Fire.
against the net.
And that does it! Bellevue West on a net call! Holy cow! 19-20-18. Bellevue West does it on a net call. Talk about a Nebraska-Wisconsin ending. The 6-3. Bellevue West takes the win as the 6th seed. Upsets on upsets. So now the 1 seed in Class A is gone in Papio South, and now the 3 seed's gone in Lincoln East.